will be presenting on exploring resilience in Jewish movies, more particularly in Holocaust film. Holocaust films provide a compelling lens for exploring resilience in post-war narratives and leverages sensory storytelling techniques to depict Jewish resilience. Unlike written text or static memorials, film immerses audiences through visual, auditory, and emotional storytelling. By examining key Holocaust films, this presentation will demonstrate how Jewish cinema serves as a medium for cultural resilience. So let's ask the question, why is this important? Jewish cinema serves as a crucial tool for preserving and interpreting historical trauma, offering a dynamic but also immersive way to engage with the past. Unlike written records or static memorials, film captures the emotional and also the sensory dimensions of survival, resistance, and loss, allowing audiences to deeply connect with these experiences. Film plays a powerful role in shaping collective memory and reinforcing cultural identity. By portraying stories of resilience, struggle, but also survival, Jewish cinema ensures that the historical events are not only remembered, but also understood in a deeply personal, but also an emotional way. These films help sustain cultural narratives, passing them to generations and generations, and keep Jewish history alive. Resilience is a cornerstone of Jewish cultural identity. Think about all the holidays we celebrate. Whether we are Maccabees or slaves, the main theme is always resilience, and its portrayal in cinema is essential in affirming this strength. Jewish films not only commemorate suffering, but also highlight the enduring spirit of the community, whether through acts of defiance during wartime or rebuilding the lives after trauma. Showcasing resilience in film is a testament to survival, reinforcing the sense of identity, pride, and perseverance for both present and future generations. The films I will cover today are Defiance, Uprising, The Pianist, and Long is the Road. Resilience through acts of defiance. Defiance is a film that tells the true story of Jewish resistance fighters in Nazi-occupied Belarus. Led by the Belitsky brothers, this group of survivors not only fought against the Nazis, but also built a hidden community in the forest, saving over 1,000 of Jewish lives. Defiance portrays Jewish resistance as active, strategic, and deeply rooted in cultural identity. The first clip I would like to share is one of the most powerful moments in the film when the partisans declare, "We will become warriors like the Maccabees." This statement is more than just a rallying cry. It's a direct connection to Jewish histories. The Maccabees were Jewish rebels who fought against Greek oppression in ancient times, securing not only their own survival, but the continuation of Jewish identity and faith. By invoking the Maccabees, the partisans are framing their own resistance as a part of a long tradition of Jewish defiance against persecution. This moment reinforces the idea that Jewish resilience is not only about enduring oppression, but about actively fighting back. This declaration also highlights how the film preserves historical trauma and strengthens collective memory through something called emotional storytelling. By linking the partisan struggle to an ancient religious legacy of resistance, the film makes their fight feel even more significant. It is not just about their survival, but about carrying forward a history of defiance.
Reload! This is not a gun. To you, it is Bar Kokhba's spear. It is Samson's jawbone. It is Ehud's sword. It is the slingshot young David used to bring down the monster Goliath. And we will become warriors. Like the Maccabees and the Sicarii.
I am not a Jew with trembling knees. This phrase has gained attention in the media recently as a statement of Jewish strength and resilience. But the truth is, Jews were not trembling then either. Throughout history, and especially during the Holocaust, Jewish resilience took many forms: armed uprising, sabotage, psychological defiance, and also the sheer will to survive. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, a moment of incredible bravery where Jewish fighters, knowing they were outnumbered, chose to fight rather than surrender. And this is seen in the movie Uprising. The uprising was the largest act of Jewish armed resistance against the Nazis during the Holocaust. It began on April 1943, when Jewish fighters, outnumbered and outgunned, took out arms against the German forces rather than being sent to death camps. The resistance fighters used smuggled weapons, homemade explosives, and other tactics to hold off the Nazis for far longer than expected. Despite their bravery, the uprising was eventually crushed. The Nazis systematically destroyed the ghetto, burning it block by block, and by May, the resistance had been defeated. However, the fighters' defiance became a symbol of Jewish resilience and resistance, proving that Jews did not go to their deaths passively. The uprising is remembered today as a powerful act of defiance, one that continues to inspire Jewish identity, historical memory, and also cinematic storytelling. The Uprising is a story fully dedicated to telling the story of Jewish armed resistance. I'd like to share 2 clips here.
Assigned by Herr Goebbels to film this operation. He says that film of these engagements will outlast us all.
Victory will outlast us all. This is not victory.
All depends on where you put the camera.
Scene is so powerful because of its sensory impact. You don't just see the fight, but you can also hear it. The relentless gunfire, the crashing glass, the visual elements, as well as the desperate yet determined faces of the ghetto fighters. You can also see the faces of the guards on the outside, who quite frankly seem unfazed, as they knew the odds for the Jews were impossible. These fighters, aware of their impossible odds, still chose defiance over a passive submission. This is exactly where film excels as a medium. It doesn't only depict the history, but it engulfs the audience in it. Their battle, which unfortunately had a tragic end, transformed into a profound statement of resilience as well as agency. Jewish cinema ensures that their story is not lost to time but remains a powerful symbol of Jewish strength and resilience. By employing immersive storytelling techniques, presenting a defiant assertion of identity, dignity, and unyielding courage, this message of fighting is quite clear throughout the movie. It is not merely a fight, but a way of maintaining dignity. I'd like to share the next clip now.
I'm instructing Zivia and Merrick to assemble a small squad. Their mission will be to find an exit out of the ghetto through the sewer canals. This is going to be very difficult, if not impossible, as we know. The maze of canals is vast and confusing. Those who wish to leave will be given the opportunity. Those who wish to stay will do so. Perhaps it will be possible to connect with the partisans in the forest and to continue our fight. Perhaps not. But throughout our difficult struggle, we have been determined to preserve one choice: how we die. Whether it be here in an airless bunker or elsewhere, I don't know. But I can assure you of one thing. The spirit of our deaths, the spirit of our deaths will shape the soul of a new generation, the new nation of Jews. All right. Let's wish Zivia and Merrick luck.
This scene clearly paints the pit.
And it's quite clear that the fighters fight and die to honor. The next topic is endurance as resilience. The pianist tells the true story of Władysław Szpilman, a Polish-Jewish pianist who survived the Holocaust by hiding in the ruins of Warsaw. His resilience is not expressed through overt acts of defiance, but rather through patience, endurance, and a quiet strength required to survive these unimaginable circumstances.
You play like an angel, kid.
If I play like an angel, why don't you listen?
I won't listen.
Liar, you fell asleep. Pig.
After seeing this scene in the uprising, we now see how Władysław hides in the abandoned apartment and he silently watches from his window the uprising unfolding. The film immerses the audience in the moment. It contrasts his forced state of passiveness with the violent resistance outside. Soon after, a German officer discovers Szpilman, but instead of executing him, listens as Szpilman plays beautiful pieces on the piano. In this moment, music, his lost identity, becomes both his salvation and a testament to his perseverance. Sensory storytelling plays a crucial role in depicting his endurance. The film's brutal imagery, bodies in the streets, Jews lined up for execution, confronts viewers with the stark realities of his survival. I would like to share this next graphic clip.
I'll go to the melting pot.
What are you doing? She's pregnant!
Yet, the most intense display of Spillman's resilience is internal. When he imagines playing the piano while hiding, preserving a piece of himself, even when the physical act could mean death, his ability to maintain his artistic spirit despite starvation, isolation, and trauma encapsulates a quiet but equally powerful form of Jewish resilience. Through Spillman's journey, the pianist illustrates how Holocaust cinema serves as a media for cultural endurance, using immersive storytelling to convey both physical and emotional survival. His story exemplifies how resilience is not only about fighting back, but also about enduring, adapting, and preserving identity in the face of annihilation. And the last topic here is resilience through post-war thriving. Long as the Road follows David, a Polish Jew who is deported to a Nazi concentration camp but manages to escape. His journey is one of survival, resilience, and the search for a new life after the Holocaust. This film extends beyond the war itself, focusing on the struggles of displaced Holocaust survivors in DP camps, where many, including David, face an uncertain future. A major aim of the film was to lobby for Jewish survivors still living in DP camps to be allowed to immigrate to what we now know as Israel. It drew a comparison between the plight of Jewish refugees and the broader suffering of displaced Europeans, reinforcing the urgency of finding a homeland. Long as the Road is centered on Jewish survival and renewal, advocating for an idealistic future in what we know as Israel. The film's advocacy for Jewish resettlement aligns with the broader theme of resilience, portraying not just survival, but the pursuit of a future beyond trauma. By depicting displaced Holocaust survivors not as passive victims, but as individuals actively seeking a homeland where they could live with dignity and security, this film underscores the determination to move beyond trauma and create a new existence. The emphasis on immigration to their own land reflects a deeper understanding of resilience as an ongoing process, one that involves not only recovering from devastation, but also striving for self-determination, renewal, and hope. Through its portrayal of Jewish survivors navigating the complexities of post-war displacement, Long is the Road asserts that resilience is not merely about withstanding suffering, but about the relentless pursuit of a future where Jewish life could thrive once again. I would like to share another clip now.
Is ein Arriba 22 Chadoshim und wir sitzen noch alles auf dieselbe Erde, ohne Heim, ohne Land und ohne menschliche, bekovidige Existenz. Wir seinen Kämel kein Schnorren nicht gewähnt und wir wollen das euch in der Zukunft nicht sein. Vor der Zeit, was wir seinen gezwungen zu bleiben, da auf der deutschen Erde wollen wir und müssen wir Arriba führen die Menschen zu einem produktiven Arbeitsleben. Versorgen sie mit Maschinen und nötige Arbeitsmaschinen, beschäftigen sie in Kooperativen, Ausbilden die Jugend in Kibbutzei Shara und in die Fachschulen eben dem moralischen und materiellen Niveau und ermöglichen sie eine bekovidige Existenz. Wir appellieren zu den Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika. Wir appellieren euch zu England, öffnen die Teuren von der Zoll von unsere verwogelte Volksmassen, liquidiert die Lagern, Kolsmann die dosige schändliche Überbleibenes von Hitlerzeiten wird nicht verschwinden von der Erdfläche, wird nicht sein und kann nicht sein, kein stabiler Scholle in Europa.
As the flag descends and the anthem plays, the scene visually and orally embodies Jewish survival and renewal, not just as an abstract idea, but as a lived emotional reality. The music itself invokes history, triumph, and a longing, reinforcing the idea that the dream of a Jewish homeland is no longer just a hope, but an imminent future. This weight is really heightened by the film's semi-documentary approach. Many survivors, many who have lived through displacement, appear in the frame, making this not just a cinematic recreation, but also a direct testament to Jewish resilience. A written text could describe the anthem's lyrics or the sight of a flag, but only film can let the audience hear the voices of survivors singing, see the relief and pride on their faces, and also experience the collective emotional climax of the Jewish struggle for homecoming. I would like to share another clip here.
Werde ich noch gebraucht, Herr Professor?
Nein, danke, Herr Schwester. Das ist sie.
Frau Jelin, Sie haben Besuch bekommen. Es ist jemand da, der Sie begrüßen will. Frau Jelin?
Mama.
Alles allein weg. Keiner mehr das Leben.
Nein, Mama, ich bin zurückgekommen. Ich bin da. Nur warte, ich bin es. Dein Sohn, David.
Ihr Sohn David, Frau Jelin.
David. Schon lange weg.
Nein, Mom. Nein, Mama, ich bin zurückgekommen. Mama, das heißt mir? Mama, du wirst gesund werden. Und wie noch du wirst gesund werden, weil mich dich... Du wirst kommen zu mir. Und das heißt, oh, das ist da. Ich hab schon eine Freude. Und ich wollte dich wegnehmen von deiner Mama. Und du wirst gesund werden. Wir wollen weg von deinem Weit. Weg von deinem...
Herr Jelin. Sie dürfen Sie nicht so aufregen. Das hat keinen Sinn jetzt.
Aber sie muss mich doch erkennen.
Das wird sie ja auch mit der Zeit.
David.
Moment. Haben Sie gehört? Ja, Frau Jelin, es ist Ihr Sohn David.
Mama. 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 Sei ruhig, Mama. Sei ruhig, ich gehe nicht weg, Mama, ich gehe nicht weg. Wir wollen ständig da sein zusammen. Und wir wollen weggehen zusammen von deinem Wald. Wir wollen kommen zu uns. In unser Land. In a neue Ehe.
David's mother Barely recognizing him is a moment that the film captures with an intensity that no written text could fully replicate. The emotional weight of this scene goes beyond dialogue. It is conveyed through facial expressions, body language, and the very deliberate use of silence. The silence here really made me feel the sense of uncertainty in the moment. The shock in his mother's eyes as she struggles to recognize her son reflects the unimaginable toll of the war. Her hesitation, the brief flickering of disbelief, and the sorrow etched in her face shows how deeply the Holocaust has fractured families. At the same time, David's expression speaks volumes. His face, worn with suffering but filled with determination, tells the audience everything they need to know about his resilience. When he promises his mother that he will build a new home, his conviction is not just heard in his words, but also seen in his eyes. The power of this moment is really accentuated with the close-up shot, which forces the audience to focus entirely on the raw emotions of both mother and son. The quiet intensity in David's gaze, but his unshaken determination when he promises a homeland to his mother, allows us to see the determination deeply ingrained in David's character. Semi-documentary techniques are used in the film. It was not filmed on artificial sets alone, but incorporated real deep peak camps, bringing an undeniable authenticity to its portrayal of post-war Jewish life. The raw, unstaged quality of these moments captures the uncensored reality of displacement, showing resilience not as a grand cinematic gesture as seen in Uprising and Defiance, but as the day-to-day endurance of those who had lost everything, yet continued forward in such an adverse environment. Semi-documentary techniques make Long is the Road uniquely powerful in portraying Jewish resilience because film, unlike books, immerses the audience directly in the reality of post-war displacement. A common sentiment amongst the descendants of Holocaust survivors is the acknowledgement of intergenerational trauma. But just as significant, yet often less emphasized, is the inherence of intergenerational resilience. Our ancestors did not just endure suffering, they fought, rebuilt, and carried forward traditions, identities, and futures that were meant to be erased. I would like to share a clip that deeply resonates with me.
We have more action for you guys. Let's go.
You mentioned that, being a descendant of Holocaust survivors, you also have generational trauma. But you also have generational resilience.
This idea encapsulates the true legacy of survival, not just the memory of pain, but the strength to continue, to thrive, and to ensure that resilience remains an active force in shaping our lives. The struggles depicted in these films are not just a story of the past. They are reflections of the resilience that descends and that descendants carry within us today. By watching, remembering, and sharing these narratives, we do more than preserve history. We affirm our place in it, honoring the endurance of those before us and committing to carrying that strength into the future.
And we have seen through genetic studies that resilience is influenced and is carried down intergenerationally. Resilience is undeniably influenced by genetic factors, but very little is known about the exact underlying mechanisms. Are some people born resilient, or is resilience learned? Resilience is not an innate trait, but a set of behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be developed over time. The American Psychological Association defines resilience as the process and the outcome of successfully adapting to difficult or challenging life experiences. By engaging with such stories, communities can learn adaptive strategies and foster a collective sense of resilience, drawing inspiration from those who have endured profound hardships.
Thank you so much for listening today.